Today I'd like to talk to you about, I think, a mistake that we as either unfaithful or betrayed make on the road to trying to heal our relationship. It's very common I'll talk to someone or I'll hear about someone who says, I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know if I want to save the marriage. I don't know if I want to divorce and be done. I just don't know, so we're not going to get help yet until we or I decide what I want to do. My challenge to you, my submission to you graciously today is to show you that I do believe that that is a mistake that many individuals make that actually delays the entire healing timeline. Not just delays it, but actually can complicate it and cause more damage, more pain, more hurt, and actually prevent you both from healing. I liken it to this. I've had lots of surgeries from my baseball career. I have been through more doctor visits, more physical therapy, more MRIs than I care to remember. I've also been through an enormous amount of CAT scans for both injuries as well as sinus issues in my head. You name it, I've probably had it done. And I look at what we do, call it our EMS weekend or one of our online courses, or even just expert professional care. I look at it as an MRI because most every surgery that I've ever had to go through, the expert, and I've had some experts work on me. I won't name drop, but I can tell you some of the best in the business back in the day when I was playing professional baseball worked on me. And every one of them said, listen, before we do surgery, before we cut on you, we need to do an MRI. We need to know exactly what's going on, where we need to cut, what ligament needs to be repaired. We need to know exactly what's going on before we open you up. And I will tell you that that made me feel safe because they weren't just going in blindly. Yes, it was expensive. Back in the day, an MRI, I think, was somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000. Now you can get one done for probably $600. And I remember that was a sacrifice. That was a pain. I was like, can we just start the process? But they wanted to know what was going on first so that the surgery would actually go the best that it could possibly go. And many couples will say, I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to wait. And I would tell you the best thing that you can do is go to a trusted source, an expert, someone like us, or in fact us, that can say, look, let's go get help now under the auspices of let's go look at options. Let's get an idea for what a divorce would look like or what saving the marriage would look like. Let's go get expert help so that we can see if there is anything left for our marriage. Let's not decide on emotion. Let's not decide on mere feelings. This is a big statement. Let's not even decide based upon my partner's track record over the last several years, unfaithful and betrayed. Let's not decide purely on anger, which anger can be blinding. Anger can blind us from seeing the truth, from being able to see very clearly into each other's motives, the potential of the relationship. It blinds us from being able to maybe see that we didn't really see everything so clearly, that we don't necessarily have a complete handle on what has happened or what can happen or the potential of the relationship. We get locked in our emotions and then we start listening to all types of different voices. He said and she said and this friend and that friend and this, different kind of person of leadership. And we don't go to an expert where an expert can say, look, here's what you need to do. Don't make any decisions yet. The only decision that you need to make is the decision to get the best help possible so that the best help possible can do a few things. Like, number one, minimize collateral damage. If you can get the best help possible that you can afford right now, you can prevent, for the most part, more damage, more pain, more lashing out, more unbridled behavior. You can begin to say, okay, look, let's, number two, formulate a plan. that we can work this plan, and then at the end of that plan, then we can decide, because by that point, we will have had some significant momentum, some significant help. We will have done significant work. We will have paid the price to be able to see through the mirrors, the smoke and mirrors, through the drama, through the anger, through the emotion, through the cloudiness. We can get to the heart of the matter. I can hear some of you say, well, what if we do all that and we find out that the relationship can't or shouldn't be saved? Well, at least you've made a decision based upon proper truth. You're not basing it on mere emotion or anger. You've based it on expert help. You can look at your kids, if you have kids, and say, we did everything that we could to try and save the relationship. It just could not be saved. You'll be able to look in the mirror and say, no, look, I'm not going to buy into, well, I didn't do enough, and I should have done this, and I should have done that, and oh, if I'd have only done this, if I'd have only done that. You can look in the mirror and say, look, I have to own the things that I did not do, but we tried. We gave it everything that we could give. We spent all the amount of money that we could spend. We went through this course. We went through this program. We did everything that we could do with some of the best people in the business. And you know what? It just wasn't meant to be. Now, inevitably, we get into what I call the maybes, right? Maybe they're a narcissist. Maybe they just don't want to change. Maybe they're an addict and the road to change is going to be really rough. Maybe they just won't get over this and let go of this, and they may remind me of this for several years, decades to come. Maybe it's just better that we end the relationship. My friends, this is the most significant relationship of your entire life. If you come from faith, then obviously that relationship may supersede your relationship with your spouse. If you don't, then I have to tell you, next to maybe kids, your relationship with your significant other is the most important relationship in your entire world. Why would you not get the best help possible? Why would you not go get help, go get the MRI before you make a decision? I will just tell you, I talk to people all the time who come to our EMS weekend, for example, and they say to me with tears in their eyes, or they email me as they're crying and say, I'm so glad that we gave it a shot. I see things so differently now. I see him or her so radically different. We would have never been able to get to that point had we not done that kind of work. This is not a sales pitch for the EMS weekend. This is a sales pitch for you to not make decisions out of emotions and anger and just past history, but to make a decision after you get the best help that you can attain, because then you're going to be able to see maybe they are a narcissist, and you know what? You're not willing to go far down that road because they're not willing to change. Maybe they are an addict, but yet they're willing to do whatever it takes, and you can manage that addiction. Maybe they're not going to live like this the rest of their life, and they're not going to throw this in your face forever, but you won't know until you do the work, until you give an opportunity for the work to work inside them, just like it takes a little while for medicine to work. You're going to have to give space for that help to do its job. I understand the fear. I understand man, I've given so much already, Sam. Do I really want to give more? I don't know. I would beg of you to give more before you make that ultimate decision, because you want to be able to make that decision based upon clarity, based upon, hey, we did this, he or she showed me this, I can't live with that, I'm not living like that anymore. And you may be done, but you will thank yourself later that you did the work to create space for them to show you what they wanted, what they didn't want, what they were willing to do, because they cannot hear you objectively. They're too busy reacting to you. The best thing that you can do is say, we need to stop reacting to each other and we need to go get expert help. I just appeal to you today. Before you make a decision to give up, get help first. Don't make the mistake that says, well, we don't know, so we're not going to get help yet. No. Go get help and then decide. It's a maybe. We just don't know. But I promise you, expert help, if done right and applied right will help you heal and help you find clarity and help you find peace of mind.